Hello everyone, I'm Ollie, one of the marketing and CRM consultants here at HubGem. We specialize in HubSpot implementation for the education sector, and in this video series, I'm outlining all of the AI features that HubSpot CRM offers and, of course, how to use them. So today we're just going to do maybe a slightly quicker session and actually have a look at how we can create AI generated images from scratch with a prompt in a couple of different ways in HubSpot, and then just finish off with how we can sort of store those and maybe use them again in the future, so we don't have to rely on it generating the same thing for our prompts. So from any sort of screen where you can access the tab bar, where you've got your sort of portal and you've got your marketplace and settings and so on. That's where we've got our CoPilot sort of logo, and we can click on that and CoPilot will then pop out for us here. So like I said, we can do that anywhere where we have that CoPilot button. And what you'll need to do if we're sort of doing it this way is to go into your or see all of your prompts. Under the generate sort of section, we can go and view more, and then there'll be a prompt in here called generate image. You can add this to favorites if it's something you think you'll use quite often as well. But if we use that prompt, it will then sort of pull in the information that we need to sort of give it here. So generate image, generate an image of. There's a blank space there for you to enter whatever it is you want to create here. So let's just use the example of a classroom. And then there is an optional sort of section here where we can give some additional details and surroundings. So you can describe perhaps what that classroom might have in it. And you can also, again, optionally describe the style that you might want. So if you wanted to look sort of comic book like, or if you wanted to be very futuristic, whatever, you can sort of tell it the style of the artwork. But we'll leave it as broad and as simple as it can be there, and we'll have a look actually what it creates for us. So we'll drop that prompt into our CoPilot chat. CoPilot will sort of, as always, depending on sort of internet connections and the level of description that you've given here, take its time to go ahead and do so, and then it will produce you a result there. So that looks like a pretty normal classroom to me. So as you can see, that is a total sort of generative AI model that has created that. It's not just sort of grabbed a picture from some sort of image database. It's generated that for us. Now, from within the CoPilot window, what we can do is go ahead and download that image or save the image, so that we can either sort of download that to our computer or save that into our HubSpot account to use again next time. And of course, all our HubSpot CoPilot prompts, we've got a thumbs up or thumbs down for feedback. And then we've also got the ability to copy that to our clipboard as well, and perhaps paste it somewhere else. So you can do that, like I said, from anywhere where we can access CoPilot. You can go ahead, use the prompt, generate an image, save it, and use it perhaps later on, or copy and paste it somewhere else. You can also generate images within any of the tools that's more so the marketing tools, but any of the tools that actually you might want to actually insert an image into. So a marketing email, a landing page, for example, and even things like imagery within our blogs, and also things like our podcast thumbnail and social posts and so on. So we'll have a look at just sort of one of those examples now within our marketing emails, and depending on what tool you're in, the process will be the same. Inside of a marketing email here, I've started adding some elements and drafting some text and so on. And like I said, this would be sort of the same process of whether this is a landing page, perhaps like podcast thumbnail, anywhere really where we have imagery available. So whether that's you dragging in an image module into something like a marketing email or landing page, or whether that's you just creating imagery perhaps for some sort of thumbnail within a blog. Whatever that looks like, anywhere in HubSpot where you can kind of add an image, the functionality I'm about to go through will be the same. So for anything that's sort of module based, of course, we'll need to drag in an image module and add that to somewhere within our marketing email in this case. And as you can see, within that image, very sort of simply, we've got that generate with AI button along with our usual bits to either select an image, or on the left side here, we can upload and browse our images within our HubSpot account. So when we hit the generate with AI button, we do actually get a slightly different pop-out screen here. So it's not CoPilot that comes out. It is a sort of standard generate image sort of pane that comes out from the right side here. And what you've got here is sort of two tabs, the create and then the explore tab. So the Explore tab here, you can see there's a sort of AI generated images that's kind of recommended, already been done. The prompt is there to create this exact thing. So, perhaps worth browsing that to see sort of what's doable, and if any of those take your fancy, you can go ahead and insert them. Or of course, you could actually copy the prompt and just simply do it yourself at another point in time. The Create tab is where, of course, kind of like what we just did within CoPilot, we can go ahead and do and give our prompt to create our image here. So we'll use the sort of same thing. We'll just say, look, just create an image of a classroom, not give it any sort of more than that, but of course we could describe what we want to see in it. We can also enhance the prompt as well. So we could use the AI to actually help us just simply make this prompt a little bit better. But again, we'll leave it very simple and actually see, even with a very basic one-word prompt, actually what it can achieve. Now, where we had before those style options as well that we could describe within CoPilot, here we've actually got a drop-down menu for all of the different sort of styles of imagery that we could create this in. So fantasy art, isometric, whatever it is, neon punk, you can sort of describe or select exactly sort of the style you want. Otherwise, you can just sort of leave it on, let the style be decided by the AI, and it will kind of go off, sort of colors and sort of the general, I suppose, feel of that piece of content, whether it's quite professional, whether it's really colorful and bold, and it'll generally match quite accurately with that. And then finally, we've got the sizing options. So not something we had within the sort of CoPilot window. We can define whether we want square, landscape, or portrait, just so it fits in kind of the layout of our marketing email in this case. So we'll go ahead and generate these. Again, slightly different to CoPilot is that it'll actually generate two images for us. So we get a bit of a choice here on which one we prefer. And when we sort of hover over each of these, you'll see we can either sort of go ahead and insert it on each of these, and we can also go ahead and select either one of these. And when we do so, there are sort of other actions that we can perform. So if we sort of select the one on the left here, we can still insert it just like we sort of could a moment ago. But down the bottom here, we can also save this image to our files within the account, so that we could use that again and again, or go back to it if we like what it generated. Similarly, we can also then select the second one. We can't insert both of them from this screen, but we can save both of them to files. And at that point, of course, you could then just pull both of them into your landing page or email, whatever that looks like. Again, we can go back to the prompt as well, and the results are still down there. We can go back, view the results, but we could go back up here, of course, and perhaps use the enhance prompt function or give our own prompt. As you can see, it does give us a lot more description here when we sort of enhance it, and of course we can give this level of detail if we wanted to. And then if we go ahead and generate that now, you'll see the previous sort of images are still down there, and we can still select them if we want to. But with this new, much sort of broader prompt, it's gone ahead and created again two more classrooms. Not massively different. I think it does quite a good job generally with some of these one-word prompts. But of course, you can have other things featured there and give that description if you need to. And we can continue to sort of select all of these, and we could save all four of them to files if we wanted to. Or we could just choose our favorite one, hit insert, and then that will of course then drop into that image module that we created inside of this marketing email a moment ago. Now, the last thing just to very quickly go through is actually when we save these images, where do they go and how can we access them again in the future? So just like we sort of looked at inside of our marketing email there is the option to save these two files. And within the files, once we sort of save one or generate any of these sort of AI models, what we'll see is actually an AI generated media folder within the files. And when we go into that, we'll see again another breakdown of images, any of the podcast audio that we've used, the content agent to help us create, and also any images that have been done through the content remix tool as well. So they'll all sort of start to get their own folders if you use each of these options. So of course we can go into images and have a look at all of the different AI images that we have sort of previously prompted, and you'll get the sort of name of the image will be kind of the prompt that you gave. And of course, you can then manage this just like you would any of your imagery. Insert this in various different marketing tools, and of course, keep it tidy, delete them, and so on when needed. So there you go, that is all for this video. I hope you found it useful or informative. If you want to learn more about HubSpot or how we can help with your implementation within education, the links you'll need will either be on this post or in the description. Bye for now.